Hi friends, in this section we will discuss mobile computing, right? Mobile computing is a totally a different computing requirement, we can say, right? It does not come under centralized computing. Of course, it is one form of distributed computing, but it is totally different with respect to its computing needs, right? So in mobile computing means entire computation must be done in the mobile phone, right? So writing applications which run in a computer are different. Writing applications which are supposed to run in a mobile phone are different, right? In fact, writing applications which are going to run in the mobile phone are very tough to develop, very difficult, because mobile computing means entire computing has to be done in the mobile, which is quite different from a conventional computing, because in conventional computing or in normal computing, computing happens in a computer, right? Whether it is centralized or distributed, at least computing is being done in the computer. But in mobile computing, computing has to be done in the mobile, right? It is not easy, it has got lot of challenges, right? So we will see this architecture also. So first of all, let us identify the challenges, right? First of all, mobile computing, the computing has to be done in constrained environments, friends. Constrained, constrained environment or environments. Constrained environment means, constraint means restriction, right? Do you have the freedom of what we say, RAM, computing power, battery, all those things? The amount of battery, the amount of RAM, the amount of processing ability which you get in a desktop computer or a laptop computer, will you get that much facility in a mobile? Obviously not, right? When compared to display also, right, you have certain limitations. So limited power supply, display is also a problem, limited size of display unit, right. Computing facility is limited. Computing facility means your RAM, processing power, all those things. So computing facility is limited. Under these limitations, your program has to run or your software has to run. You have to develop an application which is going to run under a lot of limitations. The features are limited, facilities are limited. Under limited environment, your application should run. And one of the most important or the biggest challenge is the place where computing is being done, that is the mobile. Mobile itself is portable. Right? That is one more problem. People carry mobile from one place to another place. Highly interactive, right? Highly interactive. Highly interactive in the sense, while suppose I am downloading something in my mobile, at the same time my Bluetooth may be on, at the same time my Wi-Fi is on, at the same time some other applications are running in the background. Basically, these mobile phones are highly interactive, and the entire executing environment, computing environment itself is mobile. It is moving, right? Portable, or you can say mobile. So entire computing facility itself is mobile. It moves, right? So if you are running a program, like let us say you are playing a game, right? What do you mean by playing a game? Some software or some program has to run. While playing the game, probably most of the time, like while playing the game, you will not sit in one place. You will be moving, right? But still, my program has to run, and it should give you a feeling like everything is normal, right? Most of the time, when we walk, when we jog, we listen music, right? Again, some music player has to run. So see the situation, friends. It is totally different from a normal application which runs in a computer, right? It's an application which has to run in a device which is not sitting, which is not stable. It is moving, right? So the environment itself is mobile. That is one problem. Another problem is entire computing facility, whatever you are going to get in a normal computer, you are going to get all those facilities in a very limited manner. So mobile computing is a computing technique or is a computing mechanism wherein you are supposed to write applications which will run under varieties of challenges. So these are the various challenges which one has to address and write applications. So writing mobile applications is very tough. It's not easy, right? And that's the reason, if you see, we need a separate operating system for our mobile applications, right? You can't install a Windows 7 or a Red Hat Linux for your mobile, right? So the operating systems which are developed for desktops and what we say personal computers, they are not suitable for mobiles. The only reason is operating system developed for desktops and workstations or personal computers, they are not suitable for mobiles. The reason is mobiles have got these many constraints. So under constrained environment you should do the computing. So you have limited computing facility. Under limited computing facility you have to develop applications which will use these limited computing facilities and still provide a good performance and a good what we say interactive response to the user. That is what is mobile computing. And in mobile computing, this is a basic architecture of mobile computing. If you observe, right friends, you might have studied various types of architectures even in computer networks. If you observe this diagram, friends, we have three blocks, right? Even though we have three blocks in this architecture diagram, we use the word two-tier architecture. We should not use the word three-tier, right? Because this first block or first tier which represents user interface should not be counted. This is user interface. This is what the user sees, right? So this part is called as user interface. Whatever code we write to provide view to the user, that is called as user interface. So this layer will not be counted as a separate tier. So if even though there are three blocks, I call it as two-tier architecture. Now coming to the second block, which is called as middleware, right? Some people even call this middleware as process management block, right? So this is very important, friends. Why specifically I use the word middleware is what kind of applications you use in a mobile. You use different types of apps, right? Some of the apps will run in your mobile, some of the apps will get data from some cloud or from some other external websites, right? So a lot of integration has to be done. Some apps will continuously get data from an external environment using Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So middleware provides this interface. Middleware is used to provide interoperability, right? Why interoperability? Because for example, we have developed an app. We have developed one small mobile app, right? When we develop a mobile app, when we develop a when we develop a mobile app, please observe here. When we develop a mobile app, what is the issue here? While developing the mobile app, are you going to consider the underlying operating system? Yes, I consider underlying operating system, whether it is Android or iOS, etc. But while developing a mobile app, will you consider each and every parameter with respect to mobile phone, like how much RAM will be there in that mobile phone, what kind of processor is being used? No, while developing a mobile app, we don't consider all these points. But still our mobile app should run. Only one issue which we consider is whether the mobile app will be running in Android one or iOS one. But apart from that, remaining hardware issues we will not consider while we develop a mobile app. But still the app will run, right? So that necessary interoperability will be bought with the help of middleware, right? So that middleware layer plays a very important role, and depending on the complexity of this middleware layer, the number of tiles can be further increased. If this layer is very complex, I will divide it into two parts, then this will become a three-tier architecture, right? So it is not fixed, friends. It can be three-tier architecture wherein this middleware layer can be further divided into parts. And the last one is data store, right? It's a place where your actual data resides. So it can be a database, or it can be a file sitting in your phone itself, or it can be a data which is there in the cloud. So depending upon the location of the data, that's the reason we use the word data store. We did not use the word data base or files like that. So the user will be using the application, and data will be there in the data store. Data store can be a file sitting in your phone, it can be in your internal storage, or it can be your memory card, SD card, or it can be available in some cloud environment, right? So this is what is a basic introduction of mobile computing, right? So actually we are seeing various computing paradigms which are available in this particular unit 1, right? So we are not going to in detail, we are not going to study mobile computing, because our subject is not mobile computing. So friends, this is just an overview of mobile computing. If you are interested, probably you can go through separate mobile computing textbooks or references. As far as our unit is concerned, we just had only one topic called as mobile computing, wherein overview of the mobile computing will be provided. So I hope basic idea of mobile computing is clear to you, and in the next class we will discuss quantum computing, friends. Right. So that's all for today's class. Thank you.